Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All You Can Eat Chelsea, episode number 245. We're here. So far, we've got Matisse, we've got Alexis, others will join in. It seems like it's going to be a full house, which is going to be a fantastic situation because we've got a lot to talk about, lots going on, and some of the lads are back after a couple of weeks. Matisse is back, Alexis is back. It's going to be fun. Matisse, as they call you, Mr. Branching Out. Mr. Branching Out. I have to say, man, that show is kicking off big time. If it doesn't start ringing bells already on social media as one of the top sort of podcasts going around, I'll be shocked, man. By the way, big up to you on doing that.
Thank you.
I don't know. At the same time, I'm pretty sure you're probably copying a lot of controversy that's coming out of it as well. There's clips going everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, how do you handle all of that?
I don't handle it. I recorded that 2 weeks ago. I put it out obviously on the Friday, but I'm constantly recording the next episode, and because we're only dropping them every couple of weeks, sometimes I'm recording an episode and it might actually come out a month later than I've recorded it. So I've already, spoken to who I need to speak to behind the scenes. I've given Robbie the heads up. I've spoken to troops about it, and then now it's like I've moved on to the next recording because the recordings are quite. They're getting very emotional. Some of them, like very, very in depth, very. There's some mad storylines and some mad things like being uncovered outside of the drama. So the drama kind of hooks people in, obviously, because people love that. But if you actually listen to the whole podcast, there's some mad shit sometimes that you can listen to and learn from. So I'm enjoying it, man. It's taking my mind off always talking about football and always talking about Chelsea and getting wrapped up in it too much. I'm actually probably going to end up enjoying watching, hopefully, Chelsea more because I'm not like entrenched in every single day. Are we getting Douglas Luiz? I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. If it's not a here we go, you will not hear from me. That is my new motto this year. I'm not getting involved in none of these back and forths, briefings, intrigued in, pondering, wondering. I'm not involved. If it's not here we go, I'm not here.
Do you know what? In essence, this is why I say I kind of envy you, bro. Like, I wish I was in that position where I didn't have to be so involved in day-to-day news. It's the whole branching out situation is so fantastic that it takes your mind away from things and you're just involved as a fan. You just be a fan. Whereas sometimes I think all of us, CB will, sort of agree with this. Alexis will agree with this, that we are so entrenched with day-to-day news. I feel like sometimes I forget to become a fan. Like, I forget that I am a fan. I'm not a reporter every single day, and I'm not someone who's just giving my opinions on particular reports that's floating around. I want to be a fan, just be a raw fan. But yeah, nonetheless, man, good to have you, Matisse. We're going to talk a lot about a whole heap of Chelsea stuff. Alexis, my brother, it's been a week off last week. Good to have you back, man. The fans like you here. How's things, bro?
Life's good, man. Can't complain. For me, what you said about separating Chelsea and life, I do it very easily. Like, I literally just turn off Twitter when I want to do that. The only time I get agitated is when I go on Twitter. My YouTube comments are so blessed. Like, everyone's super supportive, super nice. So I don't think I've reached the point where I'm getting abuse yet. But Twitter's the only place I get rattled on. But yeah, I'm good all in all.
Good stuff, man. Good to have you. Lots to talk about in relation to Chelsea today. CB in the building. CB, you are doing some mad stuff on socials. I don't know what clip was going on last week. I think something about Guna or whatever. At first, I had no idea what that meant. And then later on, I had to look at the comments and then I realized, okay, well, that's what it means. I think a lot of people were trying to give you a lot of heat due to that, but you had to go and keep on explaining what that's all about. Bro, how's things? And your socials, your YouTube channel, it's popping off, man. How's things?
Thank you, man. Things are good, man. I can't complain. Thanks to Matisse, we've got 3 wins in a row. You know, I'm not really. I'm not. I'm very like I go based on how Chelsea are performing. So I'm actually in a good place. We had a lot of fun in our last stream yesterday.
Yeah.
What I found though that's really been irritating me because Alexis, you mentioned Twitter. Like Twitter is I think Twitter, especially Chelsea Twitter, was made to rage bait me. I think that's his purpose. Is like it was to keep me on earth. Because a lot of the Chelsea fans on Twitter, every single time we've won games and them 3 wins in a row, there's been complaints. First it was, oh, the performances. Oh, why can you be gassing? Why can you be happy about this win against Brentford, even though they were unbeaten in 6 games and had 4 wins in their last 5 games before facing us? How dare you celebrate winning that game? Then obviously Paphos won. We won. I think we should have steamrolled Paphos, but we were the better team. People said that win felt like a loss. So okay, we beat Crystal Palace, a team that we haven't beaten in the league in the last four times we've come across each other. Maresca, 0 wins against Southampton. We come in 3. I think I'm very disappointed that we conceded, but 3-0 up at Selhurst Park, and they're saying, "Oh, this. Why are you gassing this? Why are you happy?" And I'm like, "Okay, so at what point do we actually become fans?" Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like everyone's doing I don't want to celebrate a win because I'm blue coat out. I don't want to celebrate a win because Maresca got left us and this and that were a mess. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Let's go back to reality, man. It's getting boring. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying, man. Do you know what? And that's a fantastic place to start from. And lads, today, because there's going to be so many people, jump in whenever you jump in, because today it's too difficult to direct. Directions are going to be very, very difficult to do so. So whenever you feel like you want to jump in, jump in. Obviously, mind you, don't talk over each other. Look, I think this is a fantastic place to start talking from. I've similarly, like you, CB, man, I've been getting a lot of comments in recent times when Chelsea are playing and they're winning and I'm happy. Obviously, I'm going to be happy. I'm getting comments like, oh, why are you flip-flopping now? And I'm like, I don't really understand. Like, where's the flip-flop here? I'm upset. I'm annoyed about the ownership. I'm annoyed at what they do. I'm annoyed with the people that we're linked with, the kind of players that we're linked with. And I'm annoyed at the direction that our football club is heading towards. I can't see us really win the Premier League or the Champions League because that's what it's all about down the track. However, when I'm moving into matches, I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to hope and wish that my team does well. I'm going to pray that they do well. I'm going to, back them. I'm going to cheer for them. When they score a goal, I'm going to be happy. When they win, I'm definitely going to be happy. Like, I think there is a large part of the fan base, or at least 50% of the fan base, I'd say, they're finding it difficult to segregate the owner away from day-to-day life as a Chelsea fan and backing the teams. Like, where are you guys sitting here? Like, how do you guys feel when watching Chelsea now, when they win or when we score, when we pick up 3 points or when we lose? Can you segregate the two? Or do you feel when we're winning, all of a sudden owners are all great, or when we're losing, owners are all bad? Like, hey, where's your mindset now when you're watching Chelsea, and how do you feel about Chelsea, basically?
It's very simple for me. Like, we've seen Chelsea have purple patches. We've seen Chelsea win matches under Maresca. We've seen Chelsea do very well for themselves and be second behind Arsenal going into a London derby. But the transfer window over the last 2 summers has been average. And that is where they get pulled into questioning, because what happens on the football pitch is most important. As I said last year, people care about results. If people get results, 99.999% of people will stop talking about the ownership, most likely including me. Because as much as I hate the ticketing situation, as much as I hate the front of shirt sponsorship situation, if we are winning matches and Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues and they continue all the other fuckery, I'll probably be able to stomach it. Some people might not if they're really affected, but I'll be able to stomach it if we're winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. So how do we win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues? We have to get results. So results are always going to guide this mostly. But we're not going to get those results consistently unless they pull their finger out their ass and they start making proper signings in the summer. That's the facts. However, it depends on your mentality towards life. I'm not going to see a win, 3-1 win, and then I got Arsenal Man United after, which I'm looking forward to watching. And I'm not going to sit there and get angry and shout and scream. My life, there's a time and a place for everything. I'm still blue co out. I'm waiting for them to organize the next protest. I want them to get the messaging probably a bit clearer, a little bit more clarity. But I'm not going to bang on about it every single day of my life. You know why? Because in my life, I've got other things going on. In my life, I go to the gym. I'm trying to get back into the gym. In my life, I am involved in multiple different groups. In my life, I have family to attend to. In my life, I also look to Chelsea to improve my mood, entertain me, win a match. So when we do win that match, I'm going to enjoy the win. You know why? Because it's really, really hard to come by good wins at Chelsea right now. Really hard to come by comfortable wins at Chelsea right now. Whether people like it or not, this is not the only thing going on in the world right now. So it doesn't mean people have forgotten or people are not going to ever talk about it again. But if people want to enjoy a win just for once in their life, just one day where they can just enjoy a game where we played really well, we got goals and we had a really good performance and it wasn't a lucky win and it wasn't scabby, I think just let people enjoy their day. Just one day, just let people enjoy their day. Is that a problem?
You're a flip-flop, Matisse. You're a flip-flop. You're a flip-flop, Matisse.
For me, I can add on to that as well, because I think that's perfectly put. At the end of the day, when we win, I want to celebrate it. And it's not every single day I'll talk about Igbali, because big picture, big picture. Listen, I don't care about the big picture. My big picture does not. My influence does nothing to the big picture. I've said it before, I'm going to reiterate again. The only way these owners change the model or leave is if we don't make Champions League football consistently. I don't want that to happen because I'm a Chelsea fan. So protest all you want. I've said that before. I don't think it makes a difference. They won't care. And we're always going to be good enough to make Champions League on a 2 out of 3 year basis. That might be a problem for some, and I agree, I want to win trophies. However, if they win big years in the summer, I promise you, everyone's going to be happy again and say, you know what, maybe this model is kind of working and we'll do the cycle again. But we're fans. We're meant to enjoy our team play. I'm sorry, I don't remember the last time we had 3 wins on the bounce and there were positives that I could take away consistent, from the game. We're not perfect. Matisse, you still have 17 games left, to save your job in my eyes. I'll judge you
Save the job. Jesus.
Yeah, for me, it's simple. At the end of the season, we review what Liam's done, and then we go, you know what? So far, it's a good appointment. Can we go into year 2? There's no point jumping off 5-game sample sizes and then next 5 games saying, sack him now.
So why don't you just make me interim then? What's the point of giving me this big 6-year, 7-year contract if you're going to judge me in the summer? I told you what I say when I came in. Patience. That's all I asked for. Some patience.
You're going to get 20 games.
Do you know what, CB? When you get these comments come towards you, why are you celebrating? Why are you doing this? I mean, how do you feel? And 2, also explain, what is your long-term vision though? What is it that you want to see, and where are you going to sort of put the marker down and go, do you know what? Enough's enough. Try and make us better. Try and get us to the next level. Explain all of that scenario, man.
In regards to the comments, I don't really care. I've never been the type to care about the comment section. That's always been the only time I've ever been triggered by the comments is when I was getting the Arsenal allegations. That was crazy. I had to shut that down. That was crazy. That was a double entendre, Guna and Guna, because I think Arsenal fans are wankers. So it was a double entendre. Going over people's heads. When you're at this level of comedic genius, it happens. But it is what it is. In regards to just my long-term vision is to make Chelsea great again. Make Chelsea great again is not just, we want the club at a certain position. It starts from the fan base. I felt like the reason I started this movement is because the fan base, in my opinion, the standards were dropping. I saw people talking about Roman's model not being sustainable and all sorts of madness. And I'm like, whoa, we're getting carried away here as a fan. That's where it initially stems from. I want the fan to be the type of fan that I was when I was growing up. I used to love going to Chelsea games. I used to even going to the ground, the atmosphere is shit. All of this stuff from the fan perspective needs to change. Now, as well as that, and also just going back to our standards, as well as that, I go into every season wanting to win the league. No matter what our circumstances are, I don't care who the manager is, I don't care who the players are. The standard for me is going into every season wanting to win the league because that's the Chelsea I know. We're not going to win the league, do something in the Champions League. That's how I grew up as Chelsea. I want to maintain the standard and that can never slip. I'm not going into a season saying I want top 4. Oh, well, I'm happy if we get top 4. What's top 4? You think if these players retire today, well, they're gonna look back at the day they're gonna say, guys, the best moments of my life for me is when we finish top 4. And who cares?
Bro, I don't even think the fans remember top 4s. Like,
No,
all
we
the
don't.
top 4s were. Like, I don't remember it.
It's shameless,
I don't
bro.
remember.
It's shameless.
But you know what? Like, this is why we have to encourage intelligence. We have to encourage IQ. We have to encourage people to watch that are going to use their brain cells. If I didn't tell you my stance changed, why would you think it did? Why would you think it did? Why would you assume it did? Why would you ask?
That's
Did I tell did I tell you that the model was working? Did I tell you that the directors are doing a good job when we beat Palace? Or did I tell you about the performance and speak about the match in isolation and praise the players that ran for the club, for the badge, and played well and scored goals? So this is what I'm trying to say. Use your brain. If you need constant reminders every single day, every single week, then there's something not right in your brain. That means you're not remembering things. That means you're not taking in information, storing it, and keeping it. If I come on camera and now say the model's working, the directors are doing great things, and everybody should get behind it, now you can ask me what the hell's going on, because we didn't hear this. Where did this come from? But no one said that. So
I also think it's okay for us to disagree, not agree on everything. Like, for example, some disclosure from behind the scenes. Miz and I disagree on the Douglas Luiz thing. We're not fighting, you know? And I think that's perfectly normal. And a lot of people use, in my opinion, football as a mechanism, like, to basically branch out of their life and go on Twitter and cook other people. That's like the highlight of their day. And for me, there needs to be more than that. Hence why when Chelsea lose, people are having like, oh, sack the manager, full-on breakdowns. One team can win the league. And CB's right. Every year, we all go in with the intention, we want to win the league. But it's not burn everything down and change your stance based on a 5-game sample size. I don't think that's healthy.
And you know what, Alexis, just to add on to that, like, for example, Estevan William against Crystal Palace was so damn good, right? The goal, the assist, such a lovely assist for João Pedro. Naturally, in your review, you're going to talk about Estevan William and how wonderful of a player he is. And naturally, you're going to praise him and you're going to be like, do you know what? We've got a superstar in our hand. We've got something special going. And straight away, a bunch of people will come, oh, so now you like the project. Oh, so now you like young kids. And I'm like, this is why the owners don't want to take you guys seriously, you know? Like, this is why. Like, what do you want me to do? Oh, yeah, it was a great performance from Esteban, but he's 18, so I really couldn't care less. Yeah, I don't like this project. Like, as Matisse said, use your common sense, man. When I say specifically, and I'll let the lads talk about all of this, right? When I see Jeremy Jacquet, whatever it is, I don't know, right? When I see his rumor come up and I say that, I don't want another 20-year-old. I don't want another Jeremy. He might be the next Maldini. I don't know. He might be the next Maldini. But in my perspective, that's not what I need right now. I need a Maldini. I actually need a Maldini. I don't need the next. I need Maldini to be here guiding these young kids. So I don't get it. This is where when fans, you got to be able to understand, you know, what's enough? What do we already have? What are we linked with? Just because we celebrate certain moments right now, once again, I refer to what Alexis and Matissa said. Have I like explicitly come out and said that, oh, I think the project's right now? Just because I celebrate Andre Santos, just because I celebrate Estevan William, now all of a sudden I agree with the project? No. I'm happy with where things are at. Yeah, go on, Alex.
But the project isn't all bad as well. Like, we could be Mike Ashley's Newcastle. I've said that before. We could be Mike. Bro, you know, sometimes in life, like, we want to be the Real Madrid, right? We had an owner that made us compete with Real Madrid. It's not the standard that we want to be on. However, they have done some positives. I think Cole Palmer's a positive. I think Esteban's a positive. I think Santos is a positive. Like, I can call that out.
Yeah, they're going to call your blue coat merchant. They're going to call your blue coat merchant from being balanced. Don't do it. You're going to be a blue coat bandit for being a little bit balanced. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Blue coat bandit. But what's going on here is that
You're going to be a blue coat bandit.
done so much bad that even the Palmer, Palmer was a panic buy.
Maybe.
Like, Palmer,
Yeah.
if Carney Chukwuemeka don't get ACL injury against West Ham, Palmer's not
Fact.
here.
Facts.
That-
Yeah, facts.
This was one of the
facts.
models.
Maybe.
Facts. You listen.
Yeah, but you confuse me though, CB, because under the same ownership, you've said Chelsea are great again, bro. So which one is it?
I celebrated the Club World Cup.
Don't try to play it down. Don't try to play it down. We all said, don't try to play it down, broski. Yeah, we can all be happy. We can all be happy, right? But you are the only one on this panel who have said Chelsea are great again under this ownership. I have not said that one.
Cool, now what you want to do? You want to do the rage baiting thing? Cool, no
I'm
problem.
not doing a rage bait thing. I'm just saying, check your mirrors. I'm just saying, check your mirrors. Check your mirrors.
By the way, Don. Hello, Don.
Check your mirrors.
As soon as he comes to hi to him.
Big up, man. Big up.
We need to, let's actually contextualize this. I'm in America, yeah. I've gone to America for every single Club World Cup game. The Make Chelsea Great Again movement was everyone, we need to win the Club World Cup. We need to be the best team in the world again. That was the Make Chelsea Great Again movement. God forbid, in the final when we win the trophy, I don't say Chelsea's great again. That's the movement. Make Chelsea great.
But CB, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Let me
the trophy. Make it make
this
sense.
is the irony. This is the
I
irony.
can't celebrate trophies. I can't celebrate trophies. You're the same guy that dissing Roman, saying that this ownership was Roman on steroids. You said this ownership was Roman Abramovich on steroids. Yes or no?
This is the irony.
Can you answer the question though? Can you answer that?
Hold on. I did say that, and the reason why I said that is because these guys spent over $1 billion in the space of what, 12 months, right? That's some steroid shit, bro. Does that mean that they're as good as Roman as winning trophies? No, I was specifically talking about the money. And I added some comedy, and I added some shameless comedy, just the way you was calling yourself a gooner, right? It's the same thing here, bro. You know what I mean? Anyway,
hey, what Don's saying is, they took the steroids but never went to the gym.
They just spend a lot of money, bro. It's just shamelessness. It's a bit of entertainment, bro. It's nothing that deep, you know what I mean? But guys like CB will try to take it out of context. The way that guys took you out of context the other day, so you should know what it fucking feels like, right? But anyway, back to you.
That was a completely different message. That was a completely different.
That's the same message as me. It's the same message as me.
You did Roman Abramovich on a regular basis. You say the model.
Bro, I criticized him because I'll criticize him because he was on fuckery towards the end, bro. Right? And I've even got tweets before Clear Lake came crashing it on Roman. So don't try to tell me it's a Clear Lake thing. It's got nothing to do with Clear Lake. I was criticizing Roman before Clear Lake. Yeah. But anyway, let's talk about Chelsea being great again. Right? This is where our standards are different. This is where our standards are different. Yeah.
Oh shit.
You can't try to turn around and say Chelsea are great again because they've won the Club World Cup, bro. Yeah? Chelsea, to me, will be great again when we are up there competing. Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. I didn't cut you.
What you're doing is shameless.
I'm not doing anything shameless.
I'm letting you know now, yeah? Don, I'm letting you know now, yeah? If you want to play this game, we can play this game. Because trust me,
mean, what game?
Put the receipts up and we can do this. If that's
you know what it is? You know what's so funny about this guy? You know what's so funny about this guy? I'm doing this now, CB. I'm doing this right now, CB, right? Because you get away with too much, bro. Yeah? And then when things are going wrong, you always try to come back to me and try and make me out to be this representative of Clear Lake, bro. Fuck all that, right? Fuck all that. Yeah, my standards. I could never come out and say Chelsea are great again under this ownership until we are winning the league, until we're up there Champions Leagues, until we're consistently competing and we've got a team where I'm like, yo, I believe in this team fully to go and win the league, not just to go get top 4, not to finish 3rd, right? These men have been here 3 years, CB. I've probably given them more praise than you. But do you think I can turn around now and say Chelsea are great again because the Club World Cup? Impossible, bro.
Okay. Can I respond?
And that's where. Hold on, CB, bro. And that's where you go do. You're so extreme with it, bro. You can be happy. No one's saying you can't be happy, but don't say Chelsea are great again and then try come back and then try say, oh well, they've done more bad than good. You can't say that, bro, because you're talking out of two mouths now.
Repeat the same thing. Can I respond?
Go on.
You actually watched the video that's titled Chelsea is great again. Within the first 30 seconds of the video, I said, we've achieved greatness, but there's no cap on greatness. I want to go and win the league, and I want to win the Champions League. Now we're going to run around and say we got the best players in the world, which our fan base started doing already, and we need to back it up and win the Champions League. This Club World Cup badge that we have for 4 years doesn't hold any weight if we continue to act like we've already been acting the last 2 years. That's in that same video where I said Chelsea's great again. Have you watched the video, or you've just seen the title and you're chatting shit? This is the thing.
No,
You can't
I just wouldn't say it at all.
do research. So you didn't do your research. You saw something. You saw something, and you started chatting shit. So
I don't care about the context.
now let's play this
I've got a
game.
question.
No,
I don't care about CB. I don't care about what context you're coming with, because that should have never left your mouth. That should have never left your mouth in the first place.
Let's play this game. Now let's play this game.
That should have never left your mouth in the first place, CB. That should have never left your mouth in the first place, CB.
No, cool.
We're not great again.
Boys, I have a game.
We are not great again. We are not great again. We are not great
How
again.
can we play this game? Let's play this game. Are you not the same man that had 8 Chelsea players in a combined 11 with Arsenal, saying that we had the best depth in the league?
So what? So what, bro?
Oh shit!
You're not the
Oh,
same guy.
Hold on, Miss. Hold on.
The receipts.
Miss.
Oh shit!
You can do this.
Oh,
The receipts.
So hold on. So what if I rate Cucurella over their left back? So what if I rate Reece over their left back, right over their right back? So what if I rate our midfield over theirs? So what if I rate Esteval over Saka?
That's fine. But you said we have the best. You said the best depth in the league. The best depth in the league. The best depth in the league. That's what CB says.
Okay,
I said Arsenal got the best depth in the league this season. I said they got the best squad. Yeah, Matisse predicted that Matisse. I'll crash out on everyone today. You know, Matisse.
Hold on.
Because you up there get away with too much, bro. You up there get away with too much, bro.
Why are you bringing me into this? Why are you bringing me into this?
Because you're trying to come back.
No, because I'm clarifying what CB
I will
said.
crash everyone today, bro.
Do you know what's mad?
Wait.
Miz, hold on. Do you know what's mad? Sorry, Miz. I'm in 2 group chats with this guy. Everywhere Don goes, arguments start. And I'm sorry, this is a pattern. This is a theme that I am witnessing and understanding now. Wherever you go, there seems to be arguments.
Don's unleashed.
You have only just come in here. We haven't spoken about Esteval. We haven't spoken about Andre Santos. We haven't spoken about the
We didn't even say hi.
We haven't spoken about Napoli. We even get to say hi. You just come in and suddenly argument just starts. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why, but let's just relax the ball like Chelsea did. You want to come and cook me now for something that you already cooked me for 3 weeks ago? Let's just relax. It's 2026.
Nah, it's calm.
You know what? But in Don's defense, right? I have to say something, and I don't want to be seen as flip-floppy or whatnot. I'm going to be honest. When the Club World Cup finished and the new season was upon us, I, along with Don, and I'm pretty sure Matisse, Eunice, Alexis, CB, you guys were all somewhat giddy as well, but I was also expecting a top season from us. I'm not going to lie. I was sitting there thinking, do you know what? These players are only going to keep growing. The manager is only going to keep growing. If we bring in a few quality players here and there, we can do something. Now, I get it. The transfer window didn't finish the way we wanted it to finish, but I still felt it's good enough to be closer to Arsenal. We shouldn't be so many points far behind. So in Don's defense, like, I kind of agree that there was things to believe that Chelsea should have done a lot better than where we are. Like, you know, but not to an extent where CB is saying make Chelsea great again. I never felt that we can become champions.
I'm going to defend CB. On that day, I was chatting a lot of shit on my channel too, because you're meant to. Your club just became world champions, and everything we heard was the minute we get back into the Champions League, they're going to spend money, and that's why on September 1st, I think all of our tune changed when we saw that window. I said it was a 5 out of 10 incomings, and most of it was given to Andre Santos and Esteval for coming back off loan, and Joao Pedro. The rest of the window was poor. So when people are allowed to change their tune there, like, information changed. Everything we heard was it was going to be a great window. We're going to get names that we weren't getting because the cap only exists because we don't have Champions League. But there is balance. Like, we can't be extremes. There are some things that I do like. Like, for example, Andre Santos playing in the middle of a back 3. Matisse, why did you do that?
But also, just to add to your point, Colwell getting injured, Palmer being injured. Like, no one's going to come in this season and predict that Palmer is going to not be even a third or a quarter of the player that we know he's capable of. No one's going to come in here in September and predict that Chelsea are going to have 6 red cards in 9 games and self-sabotage 50% of their matches in the Premier League at the point that we would have spoken about that. Some things you cannot predict. It's not a get out of jail clause. It's not an excuse. It's a fact. If you
no one predicted Maresca to be on fire.
No facts. No one predicted Maresca to respond to the red cards in the way he did. If you think that you're going to go into the season and predict what is going to happen, you're an idiot. You're actually stupid, because if it's that easy, just put the bet on and just make the money. No one expected Liverpool to be in a top 5 race with Man United. But that's what it is. It's just football. You just make your prediction based on the information that you have, and then new information will be presented, and you also will be wrong. You will just be wrong. That's it. You just have to.
Yeah, but Matisse, I think this is the conversation that me and CB had the other day, because CB was like, because I was on the terrace here and was talking about my whole stance on ownership, bro. Everyone understands the bigger picture. But I told CB, bro, I said, yo, when the window shuts, you will see me mainly talking about the team, the squad, the managers, the players, because I can't change much about the window. I can't be going on every day about the ownership. Like, everyone understands my stance, right? And Matisse, you're getting it now because you've been a little bit more positive. I watched your match review and that as well. A little bit like, you know, he was happier.
What the fuck are you talking about? Don't make me go to your house and slap you. What are you talking about? I'm being more positive.
No, I'm saying
getting it. What are you? I was just cussing. I didn't even do a review for Paphos. I didn't even do a review. I didn't speak.
The Palace game, bro. I watched it.
We won. We played well.
I know. That's what I'm getting at, Matisse. I'm defending you here, bro. Okay, I'm saying you put out a good performance. Now, even though you're still blue coat out, there's people that are just like still expecting you to still be sort of banging on about it. And it's like, bro, take a touch, bro. Like, there's only so much we can do right now, if anything. I don't see a lot of incomings this window, for one, right? And in the summer, we go again, and we just have to hope that they are bringing in starters in the summer, bro. But for now, let's talk about how we can be, you know, getting Esteval and João Pedro to play together more. Because I've been telling you guys about João Pedro and Esteval, how I believe that link up will be really good for the team going forward, right? We ain't going to keep playing Garnacho and Neto. Our attack looks shit right now, but there's so many things Maresca can be doing when he was here, yeah? Like playing the free man midfield, like Andre Santos. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, like Gil could have been getting more minutes too, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Man. Right? But there's different things.
Man.
In this game, I saw 3 things that I really like, bro. Right? I saw Esteval and João Pedro link up that I've been begging for. I saw Andre Santos actually being used in a position where he's very comfortable, and he did a very good job on Brennan Johnson. People will laugh at that, but bro, Johnson's really good at running in behind. That's one thing I'll give that guy. He's shit overall, but running in behind, he's a problem, right? And the third thing I like is, once again, I'm seeing our fullbacks overlapping. I'm seeing Reece overlapping, bro. Yeah? That third goal came from Esteval and Reece linking up on the right-hand side, right? And the penalty, we don't get that penalty without Reece whipping in the ball and overlapping, bro. So that's the sort of freedom I want to be seeing going forward. Gusto just spoke to the media last week, CB, and he was saying the difference between Maresca and Rosenior so far is I feel like Rosenior's giving me a bit more freedom to sometimes overlap. You know, come in the middle, overlap. That's the freedom that we need, bro. Because we can't be having man just stuck in one position. They're not allowed to freely move around the pitch. You know, we've got players that need to be able to, show themselves on the pitch, bro. Just go out there and play. Yeah, that's the message I'll be giving to the likes of Esteval, Gittins, and these sort of guys. I'll say, bro, just go out there and play.
Do you know what? This is actually interesting now. This is going to be a good question to put out there for all you guys. How do you all feel about Rosenior then? Like, it seems like Don, I agree. I've seen some positives as well. When I'm watching us, besides Paphos and a couple of other games, but especially Crystal Palace, there was another game that we played. I think it might have been Charlton. And I know it's Charlton, but there are certain distinct differences, like the midfield 3, how close the pivot players are, how compact we generally are. We're not all about just possession for the sake of possession. We do want to penetrate the opposition. Even with Paphos, it was boring, sure, but we actually did what we should have scored. We should have scored more than just one. So the question that I want to ask, you guys can go, whoever wants to go first. How you all feel about Rosenior? Is it? Are you still underwhelmed? Are you overwhelmed? What is it like?
I've seen positives. I've seen positives. I'll be honest. Like, obviously, with Cole Palmer being out, we saw João Pedro going in the 10 for Liam Delap, Enzo Caicedo on the pivot. Andre Santos weren't getting minutes, which was annoying. We saw Esteval hold a right wing shift and actually start in the league. You know, the fact that Neto didn't play 90 minutes and he was on the left-hand side is already, for me, a positive because I know slowly but surely, we're going to defeat this terrorist and he'll be out of that lineup. Obviously, what you said about the overlapping, the Reece James overlapping, I'll be honest with you guys, man, like, we're all men here, you know, I can be honest, you know. I almost nutted when I saw that. The fact that for me, that's enough. That's enough. I've been gaslighted for 18 months. Yeah, if Reece James overlapped and put a cross in the final third, his knees would explode. That's what I was told. Now, the last positive I'd say is the fact that we're winning against back fives. We beat Palace, was a back five. Brentford was a back five. We saw in the past we dropped points. Sunderland, Leeds, Bournemouth 2 times. We play in the back five and we're struggling to break them down. We're doing a much better job at that, and I think the overlapping fullbacks has helped. Now, for me, I can't really do Super Leon prop. I'm sorry, Matisse, until I'm seeing guys beat Arsenal. That's the real test. We're supposed to beat We're supposed to beat Brentford. We're supposed to beat Crystal Palace in the form they're in. The real test is beating Arsenal away from home. That's the challenge, and it's doable because Michael Carrick, an interim manager, stepped in and done the job. When the state
didn't just do the job. Absolute masterclass, bro.
CB, I hear that to an extent. That's going to be a big challenge for him. But let's be real. We've seen Chelsea turn up against the big teams, bro. You know what I'm saying? My bigger challenge for Rosenior now is to actually go on a run of wins against these teams we should be beating. Yeah, because they're the ones that are Chelsea's problem, bro. Yeah, we've got West Ham at home coming up. CB, they just had a very good win, very good performance. In fact, I watched their game. Right, we've got Leeds coming up at home, bro. Leeds are a dodgy team, you know. Yeah, they're not just a straightforward team that you could just walk over. We need to be serious. Yeah, we've got Burnley at home. Again, we should be beating them, but they're another dodgy team. They're resilient. Yeah, and then obviously we've got Wolves away. And again, Wolves, listen, before the Man City game, they didn't lose in 5 games, right? So all of these games, they're favorable on paper, but you know, CB, that these are usually the teams that we struggle against. So for me, that is actually a bigger task than beating a team like an Arsenal where, bro, let's go for it. You know what I mean? With Arsenal, I'm more of the mentality of let's go for the W. Whereas these guys, we're going to have to break them down. We're going to have to, you know, be more intricate. We're going to have to create better chances. And it's a bit different, bro. That's where my challenge is for me.
But the thing is, right, we need to get results, right? And we'll judge at the end of the season, I think, his job. You can't look at small samples. At the end of the season, if we finish, for example, 3rd or 4th, we get a cup, we're all going to sit here and say, you know what he took over at the time, he done a good job. However, if we finish 4th on the final day, we get knocked out in the last 16 of the Champions League, we get knocked out in the FA Cup by someone we shouldn't, we will judge differently. But what we are doing, and it's a positive, we're winning the games we should win, and we're keeping it stepping. It doesn't need to be styles, just get results. Like that's the time of the season we're entering. Start getting results.
Yeah, it's an NA. It's an NA on thoughts on Rosenior, because honestly, right now, like you said, it's not important. It's too early, way too early for any judgments, any conclusions, any clarifications. For all we know, it could be a honeymoon period. For all we know, he knows exactly what he's doing. We don't actually know. And yeah, I agree with Don. The smaller games are the bigger tests, because that's where you got to show. This is the problem. We have what we have. You can only pick the best players available to you. And then you have to pray that the technical ability of the other wingers that are not good enough to be at this football club, they can actually just step up to the plate against said low block and do their job. But the likelihood of that is slim because of the quality that we brought in. So I'm not going to sit here and say, because now we got a new manager, we're just going to start carving open low blocks without Cole Palmer, and Esteval's going to play. He's a massive part of that. But what we recruited, in my opinion, is not good enough across the board in terms of what we have, the quality in that attack. So I'm not expecting the low blocks to be easy to cut open. But also, the big games, you have to make sure you don't get out, tactically done by the bigger coaches as well. You have to, so it's still a challenge. I'm not going to assume that Liam Rosenior is going to rock up against Arsenal at the Emirates and in the Premier League and do what he needs to do, or rock up against, in the knockouts of the Champions League and do what he needs to do. He's got to prove everything. He's proven nothing and he has to prove everything. That's it. That's really what it is.
And another thing as well, people forget is Graham Potter was unbeaten in his first 8 games. We
Agreed.
saw how that as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So we can't get too carried away. He got big results against AC Milan twice. He drew against Man United, like away from home. That he actually had pretty decent tests at the start that made people think, you know what, he's doing a decent job. So I don't want to be too hasty with Liam. But yeah, I think Arsenal, for me, I get what you're saying, Don. I agree with you, especially with the last 10 games of the season. After this run of games with Leeds, Wolves, Burnley, West Ham, it's business time, bro. We got Arsenal away, Villa away, Newcastle, Everton, City, United, Liverpool, Anfield, Sunderland, Stadium of Light, Spurs. That's the real when we'll find out what Liam's really about through that run. So we need to get these as many 3 points as we can get, because this title race, this top 4 race is mental. But I wanted to ask you guys, because obviously our next big test is Napoli away, you could say. I expect to handle West Ham at home easily. I'll be shocked if we don't get that job done. So then it's Napoli away. Now, I've had an issue with Chelsea fans who have told me they don't want to be in the top 8 because we might potentially Arsenal or Barcelona if we finish 8th.
Yeah, they want to be 11th, CB. They want to be 11th.
That's my this ain't Chelsea, man. This ain't Chelsea. I can't be looking at any Champions League knockout and being scared to face teams, man. That's it. I don't know.
Look, I agree. I want to go in there, score as many goals as possible against Napoli, have a strong performance, take that momentum to West Ham. I know, CB, you're saying that West Ham should be a regulation 3 points, and I agree with that. But West Ham, as Don said, over the last couple of games, they've actually picked up some decent points. They've started to play some decent type of football. So it's all about momentum. I need to make it into top 8. I need to ensure that I just qualify for the second round. I'm not about let's come 11th. Let's do all of these. I see CFC Daily doing all sorts of permutations and mathematics and whatnot. If we come 11th, we face this, and if we face them, then we face this. Oh, that's a great route to the final. I don't care. Get me the most get me top 8, because that's where we need to be. So we don't have to play some playoffs nonsense, because it's not a guarantee that if you play playoff, that you're automatically going to win that playoff and you're going into and that's just more extra games. I don't need to play more extra games. We've already got a lot of matches that we play. So get me top 8. Score. Napoli, they're struggling, by the way, in their league right now. They're not looking that great. They just got beat during the weekend by someone. I can't remember who it was, but 2-0 or something like that. They're struggling.
3-0 Juve.
3-0 Juve. There you go.
The main thing that go on.
No, go on.
Yeah, no. The main thing with Napoli, bro, is again. I keep saying it. Is you have to ride that wave. You have to ride that wave, bro. The grounds like that, they're gonna be up for it. You know what I'm saying? I think they need a W as well to make it into the playoffs. They've got to get into.
Yeah.
Just to get into the playoffs.
This is the comment that I'm getting, Don. These are the finishing 8 gets you Arsenal or Bayern in the quarterfinals. I don't care.
I don't care, bro. I don't care. You know what I mean?
I want them now. I want them in round of 16 if I can.
Bro, and we could knock out one of the big boys. You know what I'm saying, bro? We're still capable of doing that. So yeah, man. When it comes to this Napoli game, again, we just need to make sure that we don't crumble within 15 minutes, like what we did against Leeds away, like what we did at Old Trafford away. You know what I'm saying? We have to go there and quieten that crowd, control things, and then get into the game. Because if we do that, bro, we'll beat Napoli. Yeah. I'm looking at their team. They've got guys like Rasmus Højlund and that. Like, see, Lukaku's back now, but Scott McTominay's been good for them, to be fair. But come on, boys, man. Like, if McTominay crashes it on us again, then just pack up this project. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I'm seriously looking at that as us being favorites. I'm not even kidding here.
But I don't. Really, but you know what, Miz? You're spot on there, because for me, it's not about the game. It's about how did these players handle a big occasion. This is a big occasion. Yeah. Go handle your business. Yeah. Earn yourselves 2 midweeks. Like midweeks off and some time off. This is the first time we're going to see an Enzo, Caicedo, and like those type of players in these environments. Show people you're as good as people are saying you are. And it's Chelsea. Going away to Napoli and getting a result shouldn't be, oh my God, like what are we doing? This is Conte in Europe. He's a specialist in failure when it comes to being a Conte in Europe. Like, go and handle your business. Other clubs have done it. So I don't know, man. Like, anyone saying they don't want top 8 and doing all these permutations. Last year, Liverpool finished first. PSG finished, I think it was 23rd. And Liverpool got knocked out. and didn't even get into the quarterfinals. So let's stop doing these brackets before the brackets is even out.
PSG only started to click into gears from the playoffs. Prior to that, they were so dodgy. And look, this match, honestly, this is actually going to be a fight because I just realized Napoli need to win as well, by the way, lads. Napoli could be on the verge of being out of Champions League altogether. So they are going to fight to be in the playoffs. We need to fight to be out of the playoffs and be clear in top 8. It's going to be a mad challenge. And I want to see what our players, what type of mentality you go into that game. Because if you go into that game thinking about West Ham and you're thinking, you know what, look, it's fine. If we don't make top 8, it's okay. We'll deal with it in the playoffs. I don't want that. This is your opportunity. Massive match. Napoli, Antonio Conte, ex-Chelsea manager, some ex-Chelsea players as well. Billy Gilmore, Lukaku, this, that, the other. Like, your opportunity to go out there, shine at the biggest level, biggest stage.
I think the owners won't allow that either. Because by winning this game, they get 1.7 million and then 10 million for qualifying. Our owners prioritize the games where you can generate the most revenue. It's as simple as that. There's going to be pressure to play your best team and take the risk against West Ham if you have to rotate. We saw against Arsenal, we rotated. No one can convince me those players wouldn't have played if it was a Champions League game. So against Napoli, we're going strongest outfit, make a statement.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Obviously, West Ham's going to be, again, we should be winning that game. But let's remember, our home this season has not been home, blood. Yeah? Our home record this season is one of the worst in the league. And that's another task for Rosenior now as well. Because you've got 3 home games coming up against these lesser teams. So let's actually improve the home record as well, miss. Because last season I could say, the
100%.
Bridge, I was looking a little bit more comfortable over there. But the amount of games that we've dropped points there this season, bro. Some of the teams like Sunderland, you know what I mean, bro? Like Bournemouth at home, like Aston Villa, bro. After we was dominating them the whole first half, Brighton, that whole first half was all over them. We get a red card, we lose that game. The Bridge needs to be home again, man. I thought I was building out of Maresca, but it kind of fell off again this season.
100%, man. Matisse.
Look, when it comes to the next few games, I'm just taking it one game at a time because on paper it looks pretty, but Paphos on paper was meant to be pretty as well, and it wasn't pretty in my opinion. So I take each game as it comes. The harder games on paper are probably more fun to watch than the easier games on paper. And this manager's going to keep making little tweaks along the way, making little changes to try and put the team more in his direction, like he said with the Santos situation. But it's going to take time because he's got no time. He's got no time in between games, in between fixtures. There's literally no space. So yeah, I'm just taking each game. I don't want to. We're gonna go on a run and nah. I'm just taking each game by it comes, bro. Because I hear the momentum talk, but at the same time, it's Chelsea, and it's this season as well across all clubs. There's no consistency. You could get slapped in the face. No, you don't even know it's coming. You didn't see it coming. Where did that come from, bro? How did West Ham and Bowen do this? Nah. It's just if I just live one game at a time and just enjoy each game that comes. I'll be real.
I'm with you on that one, yeah. But on top of that, right? You have to remember, bro. For me, there was a lot of players first half of the season that were underperforming. You know what I'm saying? João Pedro is an example of one. This is a guy who had a very good Club World Cup, comes into the season. I thought he actually started off all right. Like, remember that period where we played United? He was the only attacker really that looked like he could do something at Old Trafford, right? Had a little period where he was doing well. But then there was a period where he wasn't shooting. You know, he's looking like he couldn't even bring the ball down. He's playing in the 10. He's looking an absolute mess, right? Palmer, we know what Palmer's been on this season. We're barely seeing Esteval. Enzo Fernandez has been very much up and down. It's only the past few weeks where he's really started to pick it up, right? So Chelsea actually have another level that they can improve because a lot of the players that we were looking at to be good this season, they weren't that good first half of the season, bro. But we still managed to be, you know, up there before this little rut where we went on one win in 9 games or some bullshit like that. 2 wins in 9 games, right? So for me, Matisse, that's what I'm saying. Second half of the season, as long as we start to improve these guys like what we're seeing with João Pedro and these sort of man, we will get a better results, bro. we will definitely get better results. João Pedro shooting more, will score more goals. Esteval playing, right, will create more chances, more better chances for the team, right? Even without Palmer there. You know what I'm saying? Enzo playing with Santos and Caicedo will allow Enzo to be better because he's got more protection behind him. Yeah,
we've got no rotation in that midfield three, and that's the thing. We need to have options behind them, and we don't have anything. Buonanotte gone back, and the two other guys are injured, Lavia and Asigo, and they're trying to talk about Douglas Luiz or whatever.
Lavia's back.
Like I said, he's going to Aston Villa. By the way,
Lavia's back.
Lavia come back today.
Yeah,
He's back still.
Okay.
Training,
Yeah, I see him on Snapchat.
He's got confirmed that he's back training. He's back training.
Bro. He
Bro,
don't
he's
exist
the
to me right
Roman
now.
Reigns of football, man. He turns up 5 game weeks and that's it.
Lavia is a see it to believe it type individual at this point. So, you know, on paper, yes, these players here, but underneath that paper, there's players that are not there, or there's players that are not fit like Palmer, or there's players that don't start, that need to be able to contribute when we need to rotate or we need to make changes, because we can't play this team every single game for full 90s. You know, we have to be able to bring in other guys. They have to contribute. And João Pedro, I'm not unhappy with João Pedro, and I'm not happy with João Pedro. I'm just step up João Pedro. I need chances to be created for João Pedro, and I need João Pedro to put those chances in and take more shots. I'm not going to get carried away over 2 goals in the last 2 games. It's 8 goals. It's 8 goals in the Premier League. It's 8 goals in the Premier League in total. Yeah, but it's 8 goals.
Good recently, man.
Yeah, he has, but he needs to be consistent. This is the thing. Everybody needs to be consistent. There's no these purple patches and these. Look, this is not the level. I need consistency. I need to know I can hang my hat on you, and when we're kicking off a game, I know you're going to score. Not I hope. We need to change these I hopes to I knows. You need to be a player that bangs in between 15 to 20 Premier League goals, not goal contributions, not, he's got 11 goal contributions, more than any other new signing attacker. I'm not interested in these little factors that people want to bring in to make things better. The fact is of the matter, he's got 8 Premier League goals. That's it. Yeah? We need minimum 15.
But you don't take pence.
I don't like the way you man are talking about João Pedro.
Yeah,
I like João Pedro. Listen to me. I like João Pedro, but I'm not gonna mollycoddle João Pedro. I'm not gonna treat João Pedro like a baby, and I'm not gonna say there, João Pedro, thank you for this. You need to be one of the main men in this attack, because you're one of the few people we rate in this attack. This is the facts of the matter. We don't have many good players in the attack, so he needs to be the guy.
CB, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, CB. Matisse, I wanted to bring this forward because I feel like the vibe I'm getting from you all throughout this episode is it's like you've been hurt, and I know we've all been hurt, but you've been hurt so much that you don't have
I'm pissed, bro.
Like you don't have any expectation. Like you're scared to have any expectation.
No. I have expectations. I have expectations, but I'm angry. I'm in isolation. I'm very happy.
Let the anger go. Let the anger go.
No. I'm not gonna let it go. No, I'm not gonna let it go. In isolation, I'm very happy with the Palace win. But where we are in the table, the way Arsenal are playing against Man United, and the fuckery that's going on up there, I am angry. I am still angry that we are not up there where we should be in this table. That is the facts of the matter. So I'm not going to start giving these guys all their praise and like I said, in isolation, in the match, João Pedro, great game. Esteval, great game. But you're not going to get these general sweeping statements from me to start now high-fiving everybody. Well done, boys. Fuck off. We are fifth. We are fifth. I want to be in title challenges. And until you are putting up title challenging performances and putting up title challenging metrics across the attack, I am not satisfied and I am not actually happy. So like I said,
can I ask you a question?
Talk about, João Pedro hasn't have enough chances created for him, and that's why he's not scored enough goals. Then we can say, okay, we don't have good enough wingers, or Palmer's not been there. Cool. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, I am not about to start high-fiving everybody and saying, everything's all good. You guys need to keep doing what you've done against Palace. You need to keep putting that ball in the back of the net. Don't start disappearing now against West Ham. Don't start giving me no GA performances and no, you're not effective and you're just linking and then go. No.
Can I ask you a question?
Make Chelsea great again.
No, for sure. But this is the thing. How are we getting? How are you giving that we rate in João Pedro performances? Does it have to be GA to be a good performance?
No, bro. I want both. You're capable of both. You can shoot. I know you can shoot.
But you said consistency, but he hasn't consistently played in the 9 this season. We saw Maresca putting him in the 10. We've seen him like he hasn't consistently had a stretch of games in the 9 position. In his last 5 starts, he scored 4 goals. Like when he's played in the 9 as well. So what?
Let me add to this as well. When we signed him, nobody who actually watched him said this is a prolific goal scorer. Nobody, right? All of a sudden, Palmer's out, and the expectation is for him to start delivering consistent numbers. So the remit for him has increased. Why? We paid money for somebody that we expected 12 league goals from, 12 to 15 at most. He's on track to do that. He's not the problem. The problem is the rest of the players around him. I think CB's spot on. He doesn't take penalties. Give him the 4 penalties we've had in the league. All of a sudden, he's on 12. That this narrative does not exist.
Mm-hmm. And he's a very good penalty taker as well. And that's what I'm saying, Matisse, bro.
He's not the problem.
Guys like João Pedro, they're
I'm not saying they're the problem, but what I'm saying is he can be one of the main men. So, do we agree that he can be one of the main men?
Yes,
no,
but he still needs.
I don't think he's good enough for us to win the league with. I don't think he's good. Like, if we want to win the league,
he absolutely does need help. Absolutely.
I disagree. I think he's good enough to be part of a league-winning squad.
100%.
João Pedro is not a numpty. Do you know what I mean?
100%, bro. He's good enough to be an important player. He ain't got to be a starter week in, week out, but he's an important player in the squad. You know what I mean, bro? He offers you a lot of things up there, bro. Like even the link-up play, CB, yeah, bro. There was a moment in the game where he took the ball on a half turn. He spun with it the way that Jackson used to, yeah, because people like to still talk about this guy. He spun with the ball and then he found Estevao on the right-hand side, played him a nice little pass. I saw him doing similar things against Newcastle, bro. You know what I mean? Like he's actually playing well, Matisse. But like I've said, the only way you're gonna see that level of João Pedro is by playing him with players who can link up with him, like Estevao. These Garnachos and Netos, bro. You think Estevao could ever, bro? Imagine if Pedro laid off the ball to Neto, yeah, the way he laid off to Estevao. He's not getting that ball back over the top. Neto would just start to, you know what I mean? He would chop it back, and then he would just go to the left.
This is
guys.
Why are we having a conversation about João Pedro when Neto is playing every single week? This energy that you have, João Pedro is the least of our concerns going forward.
We're not having a conversation really about João Pedro. Really, we're talking about the fact that I'm just saying I'm not satisfied. So don't ask me to glaze anyone right now. That's what I'm telling you. And what I'm also telling you is that metrics are very important for this attack because there's not many people that can put them up. So we need to be creating more for João Pedro, and João Pedro has to be clinical because I already know Neto's not good enough. I already know he's a squad player. I already know Garnacho is not good enough. This is not new information. I said it in my review. João Pedro is capable of being one of our most important, best players that we group in with the Palmers, the Caicedos, and those guys. Or if he's not taking his shots, if he is dilly-dallying and second-guessing and he's not being clinical or whatever, then he doesn't become one of the most important and then he goes into a different category. And this is where he needs to separate himself and make it abundantly crystal clear that he is part of the best player category, one of the guys, because that's what he's capable of, but he's got to do it. And that's it. That's all I've said. That's all I've said. Because at the end of the day, we can all yap about João Pedro, this and that third. I don't want to hear talk of we need a big name striker if this is the guy that is the solution. And that's what we need to figure out right now. Is he the solution for the Premier League title fight? We want to win the league next season. You're up front. You're wearing the number 9 and we're relying on you. If that is not the case, then let's not do too much. Because if we can't, if the crosses are coming in and we can't rely upon him to be in the right place at the right time and get on the end of it and head the ball, or to be there for the cutback and clinical and finish, if he's not the guy, then calm it down a little bit. Because he can still be a squad player. I've got no problem with that. I got no problem with him playing his part. But I'm looking for the guy. That's what we need.
I hear what you're saying, bro. But this is when now you need to discuss profiles and what we have alongside him. João Pedro is a similar profile to like a Bobby Firmino. He drops deep, he can link up play, he can get a goal in the box, but he's not somebody who's a score first type of player. He's a pass first, link up first type of player. So for a striker like that, you need to have goal scoring wingers. Someone like Estevao you can link up with. Cole Palmer in the 10 who linked up with very well in the Club World Cup. He hasn't had the opportunity to play alongside Palmer for a stretch of games as well due to the injuries. But then the options he has is Garnacho, Neto, Gittins, who are not known as prolific goal scorers. So then, how can you get the best out of a profile like João Pedro, who is similar to Bobby Firmino? Firmino had a Mane and Salah alongside him in his prime. We don't have those options out wide. So
This is why the directors need to leave.
Yeah.
But you know what, though?
The two guys that were dependent on Alexis before you come in, like these should be guys that are just on the bench. Yeah, Garnacho and Neto should be just bench players, bro. Like, I know people obviously listen. I don't like Neto consistently starting like this, right? But I have to be honest. I think he's a good squad player to have. You know what I mean? If you're trying to see out certain games and that, you bring him on. You can even make man do the wing back shift, bro. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to be all the way up attacking and whatnot to see out a game. You know what I mean? I think he adds a little bit more experience in the team. You know what I'm saying, bro? So as a bench option, I don't mind him. It's just when he's consistently having to be in the lineup. And one thing as well, Alexis, before you come in, Neto ain't that comfortable off the left, bro. It's very clear.
Nice.
Yeah. He is not that comfortable off the left. It's clear to see, bro, how he plays on the left in comparison to the right. That guy don't really like the left. Yeah. He's even more limited on that side, bro. Even more.
Like him. I don't like
you know
him.
What I mean?
I don't like him on the
What
right.
I think will be
I think
a
he's a
good
good
test for us.
personally.
What I think will be a good test to like Matisse's theory is if we have Palmer, Estevao, and João Pedro up front together. A lot of people say, "Oh, Estevao can't play on the left, or Palmer can't play on the left." Listen, I've seen Quara go from left wing to false nine to right wing in one game. I've seen the same from Doué. I've seen Dembele do it. We can have a fluid front three. And then as long as you got that midfield three of Enzo, Caicedo, and Santos, you can make it work. The players just have to commit. And I think that's where the numbers are. Like, that's where we'll see the numbers inflate for the forwards and we'll outscore teams. Because Palmer, we know, can get 15 non-penalty goals. We know Estevao gets into so many opportunities and his production will come. And Pedro, if he gets you 12 league goals with those two scoring 15, no one's going to complain. Like, and then you can have the supplementation of a Garnacho for 15 minutes. And then once every while he can play in the League Cup, or you improve on him. Well, that's where a Neto isn't a problem. The problem is we're seeing way too many rubbish players starting games.
Just to add to that, like, I agree with you. João Pedro, in an ideal world, you use him the way he is meant to be used and the goals are coming from out wide. But what I'm saying is we need results and we need top four and we need cups and we need trophies now. And the directors have already done fuck this up. That's why I've been saying this. I've been saying that they have not structured that attack the way they should have in terms of the balance and actually making things make sense. But now, because how many times has Don said this to me? Focus on what we're doing now. Okay, so let's focus. What we're doing now is there is no Palmer, and João Pedro is actually technically gifted. So he needs to score the goals, whether or not he was meant to or he's not. He has to now, because we need to finish the season with the objectives. And I'm not relying upon players I don't rate. This is my thing. I'm not going to sit here and cuss players I don't rate every single week and keep repeating myself. I'm gonna put pressure on the players I actually wanted. In the summer when we signed João Pedro, I said, I rate this guy. I like this guy. So now I have to actually say, with what we have around, it doesn't make any sense to some of you, and I hear it. Because how can someone score loads of goals if the people around them are dead? I get it, but this is not my fault. I didn't sign these fucking players. But I'm telling you now, I need João Pedro to score goals because I know I'm not going to get consistency from Garnacho. Garnacho will come off the bench against Arsenal, get 2 goals, start against Brentford, be shit. Neto, I don't even need to speak. And Estevao, he's still 18. I want him to play every game, but I'm not going to put that kind of pressure on him. So I have to direct it somewhere. I have to direct it to the players I rate. I expect top performances from Caicedo, from Enzo, from João Pedro, even from Andre Santos, from players that I rate and that I want. I have to ask for more because people will say it's unfair. It is unfair, but that's what happens when you build a backwards team. It's not. That's what it is.
Lads, is football sort of moving in a way? When you look at the Premier League, right? Which Premier League team really has an electric front three or a front four? You look at Arsenal as well. Our managers are now opting to go with attacking players who also give a lot off the ball as well. Is that where predominantly where most managers are heading? And managers that want to be very eccentric, like say, for example, Pep, when he wants to play Doku, or when he wants to Doku actually works hard off the ball quite well. But when you have too many attacking players that don't want to track back or do the dirty yards, you leave yourself too open in the back against teams that want to play with all of their players that are going to, work very hard off the ball. Like, are you guys seeing a pattern that other teams are also utilizing, where going with wingers that are not really prominent goal scorers, but very good workaholics, basically?
Yeah, and that's the exact reason why Neto plays. Like, to be honest with you, we might find him frustrating to watch, but the reason why Neto plays is for the two reasons. Well, three. The first one, what you said, the work that he does defensively off the ball. Esteval's improved on that aspect as well in his game. When he first came, he didn't really have that much in his game, but he has improved.
No, man, he had it in Brazil as well, CB, man. I'll be real. He might not be as good as Neto, but he works.
Shirt, he's shown a lot more of it now. And also, another thing is, Neto's the only person who's got PMP in that front line. Our front line, João Pedro's physical, but he's not quick. Palmer is not quick. Esteval isn't really quick, he's shifty. Neto's the only one who can actually beat a man with pace. In the Premier League, that's valued. As well as that, we don't have ball carriers in this team. And that's why when we were linked to midfielders, I was actually very interested to bring in a ball carrier. No one can actually carry the ball in that midfield. You look at Cucurella, he can't carry a ball or pass forward. Enzo can't really ball carry. Caicedo's not a ball carrier. Andre's not really a ball carrier. It's only Neto. I don't rate Neto, but those are the reasons why he's there. So, like, on a profiling aspect, he has to be in the squad, or he don't make sense.
But CB, do you think it's almost become a necessity now? Like, even though we stand here and we shit on Maresca, we shit on even Liam Rosenior is now doing the same thing. He can't play without Neto, right? Are we getting into a situation where this has become a necessity? Because if you don't do that, the opposition's going to play with 10 outfield players that are just going to run ragged, and you just won't have enough bodies to cover for all of that. I would love to see Palmer, Esteval, João Pedro all play together. I'd love to see that. But is that going to open us up? Like, is that what does it mean in terms of workload for the rest of the team? Can they handle someone like Sunderland, where every player is going to run and chase down everything?
If we're being honest, I don't think Palmer and Enzo with this system can be in the same team. Enzo is a 10 in my eyes. Defensive contributions, what you provide off ball out of position is is a liability. You can't have two of those on the pitch with Palmer and Enzo. That's my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I think it's one or the other to play together, and for us to be fully balanced against a physical team like Sunderland, XYZ. Palmer and Enzo are both not doing the work that you need a midfielder, a box-to-box level midfielder to do, tracking back, winning duels, all of that type of stuff. They're luxury players. They're someone that they benefit with the ball on their feet.
So CB, having said that, now that you've said that, Palmer and Enzo in the future, and I'd love to see what the lads have to say about this, that it almost seems like it's a bit of a Fugazi situation that both of them can play all the time. How do you guys see the rumors of both Enzo and Palmer? There's all of these rumors, and I don't pay too much attention. Obviously, nothing's going to happen now, but come summer, does one of them get sacrificed? Does one of them leave? Because CB's just mentioned that both Palmer and Enzo, in this style that we're playing right now, where three-man midfield and Enzo's preferred a little bit up front. I did see initially, Liam Rosenior was using Enzo a little bit further back, but now that Santos and Caicedo are working so well, where does it leave Enzo and Cole Palmer? Well, how do you fit them all in, and Esteval as well?
Oh, Palmer can obviously play off the right, but then you need to help him with an overlapping fullback, right? You can still have Palmer basically like what we did in the Club World Cup. He's on the right on paper, but he's actually more in the right half space because someone's overlapping him, right? And that doesn't mean that because Reece, I want Reece to be back at right back. Reece shouldn't be overlapping over 90 minutes because we need to, be careful with him. But during the game, bro, like he's been back long enough, he could get injured in midfield. Let's give him the license and the freedom to overlap more often. And then on the left, you could even be playing Esteval off the left, bro. Because we've seen him left wing, right wing. The guy's just quality, bro. He could just ball wherever he is. You know what I mean? So I don't even mind doing that. Where you play Esteval off the left, Palmer off the right, and you have a little bit of an overlap on that side for Palmer. Because we know when he plays off the right, he doesn't really go touchline. He's more, trying to go into the midfield, trying to tuck in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I just want as many quality players, Miz, that can improve the chances that we create in this team. Because I'm seeing in 2026, Chelsea have only created like 22 chances, and that makes perfect sense to me. Because if you're playing the likes of Garnacho and Neto, bro, these guys don't create the best chances. All they know is to cross it, yeah. And we ain't got Osimhen in the box, right? Or you get the odd cutback from Garnacho. That's their creativity. There's no real variety. There's no smart pass like the way Esteval played that pass. There's no real good penetrating passes through the middle. You know what I'm saying? There's no little reverse passes. You play the pass, you even look that way, Miz. You know what I mean? There's no oomph in their creativity, bro. It's just very, there's no variety in how they create it, bro.
How would you, if I was to ask, and you guys can all chip in and we'll do the super chats after this. If I was to say, we want to win the Premier League next season, is winning the Premier League now starting to become more, I know we laugh about how Arsenal play, set pieces, this, that. But when you're too flamboyant as well, you're too open like Man City at times and you get done. How do you win the Premier League now? Like how do you propose we can win the Premier League next season? Is it more focus on defense, keep it tight, just the way Arsenal does, and try and see if you can nick a winner up front? Get yourself like a strong number 9, whoever it is. If it's still up, it's still up. If it's someone else, it's someone else. And just bank on defensively being solid and nick a goal. Do more of that every single week. How do you win next season?
We find out that Egbali has been putting payments into Russia, and he's been infiltrating their debating and their political scene. And then we get him. The UK then get involved. They seize the club and the assets, and then we look for Saudi ownership. By the summer, Rain Group will get Saudi ownership. Hopefully, then we.
But Newcastle has Saudi ownership,
Yeah, we go crazy.
Yeah, but Newcastle can't spend though. that is sadly that's the issue.
But we don't make enough. We need to make money like Man City. Man City make money. Do you know what I mean? Like,
answer your question,
Man United or Arsenal make money.
To answer your question, to be honest with you, I think the league is the easiest it's been since for the last 10 years since Pep Guardiola's come to the league. It got to the point where it was impossible. Unless you were touching mid 90 points a season, don't even think about the league. Nowadays, it's looking at Arsenal. If they were to win the league, they're on pace to 83 points, 85 points. It's not as hard as it used to be. I think if we have a solid back line, because if you look at the points we've dropped this season, Sunderland, shit defending. Man United, shit defending. Brighton, me and Matisse.
Before you even mention defending, before you even mention the defending again, remember against Sunderland when Neto had the ball on the left and he could have played Garnacho, the through ball, and he fucked up the pass. That we could have been 2-0 up, bro. So it wasn't even just the defending, it was the attacking as well, bro. But go on, carry on, bro. Go on.
Yeah, literally, like the defending for Brentford that cost us in the last minute. That's 3 points. That's 3 points we dropped. Obviously Palace was a 0-0, whatever, dead rubber. Sunderland, shit defending. Man United, red card, shit defending. Brighton, red card, shit defending. Leeds, we just got moved to. Like, I think that's the only time I'll say we actually held belt. We got moved to. Aston Villa,
Arsenal
shit
at home.
Yeah, Arsenal at home. Red card. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit defending for the equalizer. But I think if we actually sort out our back line, I think we can make rounds like this. Like I said, the league is shit, bro. This is that, like, look at, for example, there's 3 points separating 4th and 14th in the league right now. The league is shit.
We're not as bad as I think we feel, or as far, because if you think, I don't think we're that much worse than Villa, right? Villa are 4 points off top. Like, I'm sorry.
If we had everybody available and we didn't have it, if the injuries weren't to the key players and we weren't, and our ill discipline wasn't as bad as it has been, we would definitely have 4 more points, right? Minimum, or whatever it is. You just like have the gap.
Well, for me, it's like Palmer's a big miss. If Palmer comes back at least 80% of himself, and Colwell comes back as himself, they add a few pieces, we're having a completely different conversation. It's just we need to upgrade on that left wing position to get a goal scorer. I don't care if he's experienced. I don't care if he's a kid. It's someone that's contributing. And I don't think, unless we go with the front three that we were saying.
The
And
problem
also,
is we can't be having that conversation every single season.
yeah,
If
Agreed.
this, but this, oh look, see, it's
Agreed.
not even that hard, but we're not there. So that's it. Like
Yeah.
we need to actually just do the job for once and not be like, oh, it's not that difficult circumstances. Because really,
We
what
need that
happens is
Costa,
every summer
Fabregas,
window,
and Felipe Luis summer.
every summer window, they create the circumstances. Yes, we've been unlucky with the red cards. That's a ill discipline. Yes, again, you can maybe tie it to not having enough leadership in the team. I don't know. I think our captains need to start slapping people across the pitch at this point. That shouldn't even be happening. It shouldn't even cross your mind. You could talk about the injuries. That's unlucky, cool. But if you keep having summers and appointing managers, by the way, who are potentials and rookies at the highest level, you keep creating the environment and the circumstances for you to be unlucky. Do you understand? We ain't putting down shit to say it's over before it's even started, which we're more than capable of doing, or we could have done. We could have legitimately said this league is done before it's even started, because that's the level of quality we brought in. It was so high that it was just like, don't even bother with us, don't even talk to us. And that's how we've won leagues before. We've not won leagues with this. Oh, maybe will we, won't we? No, every time we've won the league, it's been done from day one, or Conte, day 5, day 6, and that's it. Don't talk to us.
I'm telling you, Matisse, bro, we could have actually done something, man. Imagine if they had brought in, like let's say they brought in Gahey at centre back, they brought in Semenyo at left wing, for example, or in Dai or Rodrigo.
Yeah.
They brought in Ekitike up top. They bring in Rodgers in the middle, bro. That team
finished. You know what I'm saying,
bro.
Get on to João Pedro. You can't this the
no,
thing.
but have both, bro. Have both.
Have both, innit? Have both.
Bundle up and have both. Bundle up and have both. I'll be real.
Like,
but they're too similar of a profile, innit? But
another thing that I think like we're understating in this, and I understand what you lot are saying is fact. The window was shit. We're not what we're doing is just constantly doing sideways moves, trying to replace the shit players we bought previously instead of actually getting ready-made bags, man. Agreed, 100%. But how much of this are we now gonna like? I'm breaking down the games that Sunderland and Fulham and all these points that we dropped, these stupid points, yeah. How much of this goes down to the in-game coaching? Because I saw us shit away a lot of points through mismanagement throughout them games. And
I already said it. I already said that Maresca,
there
was a lot of time he screwed us up. Do you know what I mean?
CB,
There's a lot of times the players screwed us up as well.
CB, I want to hear you crash it, because I've crashed it. Me and Miz have crashed it enough times about Maresca. Whereas these two barristers here, I call them the proctors. Yeah, Alexis is a proctor and Matisse is proctor as well, man. If you've watched Power, you know about proctor.
Yeah, literally.
These men are proctor, bro. Matisse is proctor, bro. They anything you'd mention about Maresca in a bad light was a taboo to these men, bro. You know what I mean? And I was seeing this guy fucking around. CB. But go on, remind us, man. Remind us.
I think Maresca's substitutions against I don't even know where to start. Sunderland was criminal. It cost us. I don't even want to
Man United.
Bro, Atalanta, Karabeg, all like there was so much stuff he done where it was like, bro, you are killing us, bro. Even for me, I think when we were 1-0 up against Arsenal, I said it to you, Don, when we saw each other at the game. I said, bro, why are you not subbing on Andre Santos, making the midfield more compact than we do that? Like, why 1-0 up at home? There were so many things that was done that he got so many excuses for. And then also this narrative of, he showed up in the big games. That's cap. We lost to Liverpool last season. We lost to Manchester City twice. We never beat Arsenal under this manager. Obviously, we beat Spurs. We always beat Spurs. We lost to United. We drew to United away from home. That's when they were under Ten Hag at the time, or they just lost Ten Hag. Like, there were so many times where this guy's big game record was spooky. His system didn't make no sense. There was no overlapping. He had these men holding whip for no reason. He was so, like, his subs didn't make sense. He was sub on Esteban in the last 8 minutes of a game. Let's be honest, the Crystal Palace game, does Esteban start it? Let's be real. Does Esteban start? Does he start that game?
It'll be Garnacho Neto. Bruv.
I think that's the biggest positive of Maresca, of Rosenior. You can see a lot of the younger players that we were all calling for are getting actual opportunities in game time. Like,
Hato is one of them.
Hato, Josh played more minutes.
I'm gonna sound like a Maresca defense.
Here we go, Proctor.
Agent here. But I can't help but I have to put this perspective out there. First of all, when I was calling for Esteval to start more games. A lot of people were saying, no, he needs to be looked after. He needs to be bedded in. We can't play him every game. So that's the first thing. Now we need to see Esteval play every game. So I find that interesting because that wasn't a narrative.
I've been saying that from the beginning.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying let's just talk generally. We will have our own comment sections and our own chats. Go and look at my video saying, Maresca, I'm warning you after the Wolves win 3-0, and all the comments will be, Esteval doesn't need to play every game. Calm down. He's managing him properly. Be patient. So I don't want to hear all these
changing
now,
climate.
Right? And then the next thing I want to say, the first 6 months of Esteval, is he not meant to be more rotated than the second 6 months? Is he not meant to be more bedded into the league and into the new country and the culture than he is in the second 6 months? So it's a bit uneven to then expect the same minutes from the first 6 months to the second 6 months. That's the next thing. And also, Maresca played him. He started against Barcelona. He has played big games. He has played. And sometimes his performances weren't superstar. And then people are like, maybe he needs to come out. So again, it's a bit too extreme for me, this conversation with Esteval. It's a bit too extreme.
That's not the only points that have been made.
Not you, I'm just saying, it's just a little bit.
No, but Tees, we should have been seeing him more though. We should have been seeing him more. That's just the end of it. We're going to see
Andre Santos is another one. We should have seen a lot more of Andre Santos.
Exactly. Yeah. Read out the recall. Keep reading the recall, bro.
Santos, I agree, yeah.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like, there's so many in-game management cost us so many times. The big game narrative is lazy. It was so easy to play us. We knew to play Chelsea, all you got to do is put a back five up and just have a low block to hit us in transition. We was defending with a back two, yeah? This is another thing that I've been liking about this manager. I want to see him get tested a bit more. That's why I want to see the second leg against Arsenal with all our players, so there's no excuse. But the back two, every single time out of possession, when we get hit in transition, we lose the ball. We're in a back two, which leaves Tosin, Trev, Badgershill defending in wide areas. I said this to you, Don, when we sat down.
Yeah. I remember you saying, bro. Yeah.
Tosin should not be defending in wide areas, bro. Chalobah should not be defending in wide areas. You don't see Van Dijk in them situations. You hardly even see Gabriel in them situations because he's a draw out. Yeah, he was doing so many things which didn't make sense. And the last thing I'll say,
just remind you, yeah. When we played, what was that team that we played in the Carabao Cup, bro? Lincoln, bro. Yeah, you had Caicedo playing. Basically, it was basketball, bro. Caicedo was playing like a long six. Yeah, he's playing by himself. Say that again.
It was Cardiff. The first half when they cooked us.
When we played Lincoln as well, I'm sure Caicedo was playing as like a lone six by himself, pretty much, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that was a place where you've got to ride that wave. You know what I'm saying, bro? So CB, go on, carry on.
Bro, now you mentioned Caicedo, the yellow card. Caicedo went in a run where he got 8 yellow cards in a row because of this manager system, leaving him by himself. Cucurella, he needs a rest, because once again, Maresca was running him through the ground. We were so excited about getting Hato. Well, like, finally, we got Cucurella cover. We barely saw Hato. This is another thing that he kept doing with the young players, This is my last point because I don't want to make this about him. But what he was doing that was irritating me so much with Maresca was that he used to constantly make it clear that he doesn't trust his squad. As a manager, you need to instill faith and confidence in your players. It was similar to the title race. The first time I saw him do that, and I was irritated with that at the time when he done it because I formed like this. But constantly, Hato Andre would make a mistake against Karabeg. We don't see you for 6 weeks. Josh will put a football against Brighton and get with 10 men. We don't see you for another 6 weeks. You're constantly dissing the squad, the ability of the players. What kind of confidence does that instill on the players, especially such a young squad, bro? That's not how you his player management would tell
them to the side.
And
CB.
Now, I have to throw one more in, sorry, Miz, because I just remembered it in a moment. In terms of player rotation, when he had the squad available to him, he didn't know how to rotate the squad properly. Last season, when we were saying that we had the best depth and we had an A team and a B team and all of this stuff, he wasn't playing Felix in league games. He was hardly playing in Kunku in league games. We got crashed out of the cup in the round of 16 to Newcastle in the Carabao. So the only games we could play these players in was in the Conference League, which subsequently led to Vega and Felix going on a loan move in 6 months, weakening the squad. Then we had to have Tyreek George play striker for us in the business end of the season because he mismanaged these players. And he did the same thing with Andre Santos. He done the same thing with Hato. This is just the same patterns that we keep seeing under this manager time and time again. I hate the fact that our fan base have now decided, let's talk about Bluco. Oh, now because you sacked him. That he's not, he doesn't represent what the project is anyway. Like, it's,
yeah.
Do you know what, CB?
We come in
Just,
yeah. The game against Lincoln. Sorry, Caicedo didn't start. It was Santos. But I remember Enzo was playing deep in that game, but then going further up, and again it was just a bit mismatched.
It was a mess.
Yeah. But go on, carry on, bro.
Do you know what? Do we all agree Aston Villa doesn't have a better squad than us? Do we all agree that?
Yeah. I agree.
Is that a unanimous yes from everyone? Yeah, live chat. You'd say that as well.
Yeah. We
So
have a better team than them.
So how they in front of us with points? So
I don't know. We got Champions League, big injuries. They manage us better. They're more.
That's the thing, right?
More balanced
So
in their
the
team.
manager for me plays a huge part. Like, their squad isn't better, but somehow they find themselves higher than us, and I feel like the manager plays a big part.
But they also have experienced players, and they also have balance in their team. They've probably recruited better balanced. Like, they've recruited a team that makes sense, that plays to its strengths. That's true. Well.
That's true.
They can cross the ball to they have Watkins up front. I know he's not even having a great season, but like they have the basics down. Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel like we've got basics too, man. Like Enzo Fernandez, how many seasons has he played in the Premier League? Caicedo, how many seasons has he played? Cucurella, then you've got Chalobah, then you've got Reece James, João Pedro. I just feel like this season, it didn't need to be where it has ended up being. Seriously, it didn't need to be there. And I think as much as I despise the ownership, and I really do, because they should have capitalized on the transfer windows, but I can't stop thinking that Mr. Enzo Maresca, somewhere along the way, you just didn't have the heart. You did not have the heart. He didn't have the heart to carry on. Bro.
You also have to factor in the fact that we play Club World Cup, so we've seen that our players have been jaded. We're obviously we always disagree on this point, but when you do not build to be the best, you risk being amongst the rest. It rhymes and it makes sense. If you're gonna piss about, mess around in the window, and you're not gonna bring in the best, don't expect to be the best. Take that risk, and risks will fall at your doorstep. That's where it starts. It always starts from the top. That's the mentality. The mentality at the top is not to recruit the best. So why do you expect to be the best? Yes, people can overperform, but yes, also we have had the most games of any team in this country for the last year. Yes, we have had injuries to key players. Yes, we are playing Champions League football with Premier League football. We know that the attack is not balanced. It's not geared towards the players that are in it. So you have to hold that. Like, the manager's also inexperienced. Why are we expecting Maresca to be perfect? Of course he's going to make mistakes. Of course it's going to be partly his fault. They also appointed him, and they did it on purpose. And they appointed another manager that's going to also make mistakes. Right now, if I ask this chat, who's better manager, Rosenior or Maresca? They're all going to say Rosenior.
I don't think so.
Now they will, but in 18 months, when Rosenior's going,
I think a lot probably will.
If we have another meaty window and he's going through a bad patch and he needs support and he starts bugging out, it's going to be the same conversations. And then everyone will be like, oh, we just need another up-and-coming new fresh manager who's going to come in and click his fingers and everything's going to be fine. Starts from the top. Always does. Always does.
You're right, man. You're right. Asa, thank you so much for the super... Sorry, CB, was that?
I wanted to ask a question, because I know you guys need to shoot in soon, innit? So, do you feel like, have you been getting this as well? This is to everyone, really, but have you guys been getting it in your chats, yeah? The Maresca super soldiers, like, oh, if we're like, let's say we have a shit first half, they come in, you want it, you were sinking, you thought life was sweet without him.
Always.
Because I think we as a collective, I feel like we are influential enough to have a conversation about the way the fan base have been moving. We need to wake up as a fan base. We are turning into cucks. I can't believe guys are moving like this. It's like, oh my gosh, you got what you wanted. It's almost as if you man want us to lose games to prove a point. Like, oh, was right. Like, you know, I saw Mourinho get sacked in his prime. I saw Ancelotti get sacked in his prime. This is nothing to me, bro. I can't believe the reaction. shocked.
And the way Maresca even left, that scrotum, I've been calling him a scrotum head, blood. Yeah, the way that guy left, you think I resent him now, if anything, bro. If anything, because man came on a spy thing, bro. Yeah, man came on a spy thing this season. He took his eye off the ball.
When you guys break up with your exes, does it always end bad, or can you just be mature by it and just be
sometimes
going on? You might always fight.
You know what? No, sometimes it ends well. You're like, you know what? We're friends.
Don goes into 3 separate group chats just to start a fight with her.
You know what I'm saying, bro? This fucking scrotum decided to just pack up his shit, not say anything to the players, and just get the fuck out of it and throw Willie under the bus and tell Willie, oh, go tell the media I'm ill. Yeah, fucking weasel. You know what I'm saying? Whilst fucking about, with the squad, and then it's us that get crashed online, bro. You know what I mean? Because his fuckeries. I'm not the guy that would have been picking Garnacho and Neto, bro. I'm not the guy that would have been leaving Hatter on the bench. Yeah, it's this scrotum. You know what I mean? Joke man, bro. Yeah.
Why can't we have respect for people that contribute to our success? Hold on, we're world champions.
Nah, bro.
CB's in America. Hold on a second. CB's in America living his best life, doing up the vlogs, saying that we're world champions, which we are. Don, world champions. Hence why all the chest and all the energy from all of us going into the season getting giddy. But now when he's left, we want to be disrespectful, want to call him scrotum. Why can't we just be respectful to
fuck all that, man.
To people to our success? I don't understand. I'm not this guy. When you contributed to our success, unless you're moving absolutely bonkers, which for me, we're doing a bit too much over dramatics over this. Yes, he didn't say goodbye to the players. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? I don't care, bro. Who cares?
Matisse, you're talking about respect. Did he show us respect when he walked out on us on Christmas?
Man, am I switching up?
Did he have respect for us when he was flirting with the ops? That's like me having a girl. I'm locked in with her for 18 months. I just got engaged with her in the summer, and then she sees a man that's got a Lambo, and she's all here twerking for him. And then she comes home to me and says, "Oh, by the way, one guy with a Lambo moved to me like in October." Then you go back a month later. Oh, my man, you wanted to take me out for drinks. What kind of mindset is that, bro? You're not loyal. You're fucking with the ops. The moment you done that for me, you're not Chelsea. We need to remember, when you decide to be a Chelsea fan, it's Chelsea above everyone. Fuck everyone else, bro. You know what I'm saying? I put hands on my little brother who's Arsenal just because he's chatting shit about Chelsea, bro. It's personal for me. There's no like, I'm not gonna cut corners or change the narratives for nobody else. I don't care if you won things for me in the past. That's just how it goes.
Do you see our directors and owners admiring Arsenal and speaking about how great their model is and Candy Eye in them and Candy Eye in Brighton and Candy Eye in these clubs? So is that not courting? Are they not courting the same way? No, is it?
No, but it's shameless either way. Yeah, but the fact that let's be honest.
He's hugging Roberto De Zerbi right in front of Rosenior. Yeah. Making sure the camera's picturing it, but Maresca's meant to be fine with that, man. Come on.
Oh, man.
And then you've got a few people in the chat. You got a few people in the chat trying to call me a flip flop, saying, "Oh, I used to love Maresca, bro."
I'm a flip flop as well. I'm a flip flop.
You was a Maresca super soldier, though.
Bro, of course, because the guy clearly came into the club, got us top 4. He got us the Club World Cup. He absolutely battered Betis, and if you remember, the in-game management against Betis was spot on as well. I saw enough from the manager where it's like, I want to build with this guy, right? But this season, I'm sorry, I had to keep it real. As much as I liked him, I could still be objective and say, you have not been good enough this season, bro. Yeah? The way that he was managing this season, Miz, I didn't recognize this man. You know what I'm saying, bro? I didn't recognize him. Simple as that. And that's why I'm even more disappointed, because I liked him. You know what I'm saying, bro? I liked this manager.
Same.
And we need to also remember that we changed that guy's life. Who the hell was Maresca before the Chelsea job? No one knew him. Like we made.
You know what? Clearlake changing our lives as well. So everybody's lives are changing.
I'm so happy you brought that up, because you said, why don't we respect? Why should we show respect to somebody who's made us world champions? Why, by your logic, why don't we show respect to Win Stanley and Lawrence Stewart? They brought me Estevao and Caicedo and Palmer, and we became world champions with these players.
Egbali did the deal in the end for Caicedo. These men tried to bottle it, and then he had to go and fly out or something. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but in my opinion, our success was in spite of the windows that we did, not because of. If you go and look at the players that we signed and their contributions to our success, yes, they're stat padding in Poland and stat padding in Sweden. But go and look at the key players The players that were key last season, most of them were signed many, many years ago, whether that be Caicedo, whether that be Enzo. These guys have been here a long time. You know, when you're doing your job at work, you don't get to ride off your success 3 years ago with the big £100 million signings that were obvious that you had to make and you still overpaid for. No, you got to keep producing your shit. And when you have back-to-back meaty windows, yeah, I'm gonna get onto you first before I get onto anybody in the dugout. I'll be real. That's just my chain of command. That's going for the top first, and then we go down the ladder after. If you guys want to pick on the citizens and the homeless man on the train who's asking for pennies when you really should be talking about the government, that's on your thing. That's your business. But for me, no chance. I'm not gonna have it.
But you shouldn't just ignore a manager making some basic.
I'm not ignoring.
Mistakes.
I critique Maresca for the decisions that he made against Atalanta and in isolation. But you guys seem to have more energy for the manager than you have for the ownership. I find that to be.
I think that's where you're wrong.
I find that to be a little bit.
That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong, Matisse.
This is where you're wrong.
That's where you're wrong, Matisse. That's where you're wrong.
You're wrong there. You're wrong, Matisse.
Full screen him.
No, fuck all that. Hold on, full screen him.
That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong.
Because when we talk about when we start to have conversations about who we should have signed, like I just mentioned about 20 minutes ago, the players we should have signed, bro, we start to get emotional about it. We're like, yo, why the fuck didn't they do this? So we have the same energy for that, bro. But the conversation is filtered down.
Look, this is the thing. I don't like this narrative about the ownership because even the day Maresca got hired, I went to a protest by myself. They made a protest. I was in France at the time. At night, I got a 6 a.m. flight from Paris straight home. I put my luggage in the cab, went straight to Stamford Bridge. I was the only person in attendance for the protest. Yeah? That was when Maresca got hired because the standards were dropped and I didn't agree with the model. I've always been getting onto the ownership from the very beginning. Make Chelsea great again isn't, we got issues with Maresca and not the owners.
Same.
No, fuck them both. I find it so funny when people are saying that Blue go out, but they cry about Maresca. Maresca is the epitome of Blue Coal. He was the same man putting guys in bomb squads. He was
bang on.
Playing the common facilities. He was the same guy when he came in and said we're going to win the league in 5 years and the Champions League in 5 years. All of this stuff. He was the main man of Blue Coal. He was doing their dirty work. So I find it very funny when people do this.
That's why last season I stopped doing previews because this man was moving like a yes man. But guess what? Maresca was growing some kahunas towards the end of his tenure, and that's why he fell out with them. So he was starting to garner some sort of winning mentality, some sort of taste for winning. And he's starting to disagree with the board. And maybe he's disagreeing with the signings. And maybe he wants more experience. And he was starting to speak out. And that's why I was starting to gravitate more towards him. Because he was starting to see the light. But then when they got rid of him, and then they brought in another brother who don't see the light, or another brother who's going to be saying, yes, everybody's world-class and everybody's perfect. This is the cycle, bro. If you
Matisse,
you get
Pochettino done the same thing. Pochettino was calling out this man. Pochettino got replaced by a new manager that you man all love that was saying.
No, I didn't love him at the start. Don't do that. I didn't even know this man. I didn't know this Maresca man at the start. Don't do this. I wasn't watching Leicester games in the Championship. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Regardless, this is why I don't get that.
I'm a grower, not a shower, bro.
Pochettino. Whoa.
Oh shit. That's bad images, bro.
My love grows as you accomplish, as you win, as you start to show that you've got the mentality. I'm not showing that shit from the beginning. I'm not chanting Liam right now, bro. I'm not that guy. Relax.
Matisse, on that note, I might have to let you go, bro. That's a red card. I'm gonna have to let you go because you gave me a bad image, bro. You're not a shower. You're a grower. That's bro. Nah. Alexis, I'm gonna let you go as well. Lads, stick around for the super chat, and then we'll wrap things up. Matisse, thank you so much, brother. Big up to the live chat. Make sure you guys subscribe to Matisse and Alexis. Make sure you guys do that.
Nice to meet you.
In a bit, boys. In a bit.
Take it.
Love.
Wow, boys, what the hell? Huh? Assad, thank you, my man. They said Chelsea finished without Maresca. No, Chelsea never finished without Maresca. So yeah, I'd never believe that anyway. Chris Chat CFC. I'm looking at the last 3 games. 6 goals scored, 2 conceded. Results are only things us fans need to concentrate on as we support the team, not the higher ups of the club. Look, I get that. I think the lads understand that as well. Chris, yes, on a day-to-day basis, you can't keep talking about the ownership. You cannot do that. That is the bigger picture. We do need to concentrate on the club. However, don't forget, even when we are picking up these wins along the way, the ultimate issue, CB will agree with this, Don will agree with this, unless and until we actually change the policy, the project. Do you know what I mean? Like we could end up the season really well with a lot of wins, and we could get very close to Arsenal. But if these guys go and do the same nonsense again in the summer, we're going to be in the same position next season again. So don't forget the bigger issue. Yes, support the team and we cheer the team on, but there is a bigger issue here. Chris, once again, get me on the stream. Don is in the building. Who's Chris Chats? Chris Chats.
I don't know. I don't know who that is. Big up Chris, man. Look up, Chris, I'm gonna do a call-in. I'm gonna do a call-in soon anyway, so look out for that one.
Look out for that one, Chris. There you go. Big up, my man. Reece James plating under Carrick's Reds talk soon. What does that mean? I don't even understand that.
Hey?
Plating?
Reece James. What's Reece James and Carrick? Where's the correlation between those two?
He's basically saying Reece James is going to go to United soon. Obviously, Reece James got 2 years left on his deal.
I mean,
oh, no, there's no chance. Look, Reece James could potentially leave, but no chance to United, though. I don't think so.
I thought he was good. I thought he meant he probably mean Palmer. But that's not happening, bro.
Yeah,
that's not happening.
Probably mean Palmer. Chris Schatz, big up once again, my man. Ken Joy, I can't have Lukaku dunk on us. Lads, I don't think Lukaku's back. Is he? Like, is he going to start? Is he going to feature? Like, he's been injured for a while, right?
He played last week when they lost 3-0, but he didn't play the full 90.
Okay, so I hope
bench or something like that.
I truly hope he doesn't dunk on us. Oliver, big up, my man. Circle back to the lineups being selected by owners. Lads, I want to quickly ask you this. I see this a lot, right? And I've said to the live chat, there's a lot of things I will believe that these owners are doing wrong. There's a lot of things because I know, right? We can see. But this whole thing about owners are picking the lineups, I can't believe that. I'm sorry. Enzo Maresca, you're telling me Enzo Maresca sitting there and he's getting a phone call from the owners to start this, start that. If that was the case, Estevan William would have started a lot more. Santos would have started a lot more. Hato would have started a lot more. Tosin definitely would not have started a lot more.
50 million. He's not even gotten any minutes. That's the investment, no?
Yeah. You know it is? They get confused, yeah? Well, they can't comprehend properly because the medical team were telling Maresca who can play so-and-so minutes, who can play for this long, which is their job. But
it's their job. Every club does that. Every club does that.
Yeah, every club does it. And I don't know if these guys were even Chelsea fans just a few years ago when we was having players falling down just with Poch, bro. Every 2 seconds, that whole medical team got changed. We changed that whole medical team as well as Poch, bro. You know what I mean? So it's just people just failing to comprehend simple English, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man. C2A, big up, my man. Everyone on this panel made videos about the briefs the club put out and doubled down on how it was medical team doing the subs that made no sense. Yet now I'm hearing it's Enzo's fault. See, this is where I struggle. This is where I struggle, and I don't want to get into it again. Like, people can't seem to comprehend that Enzo Maresca made some categorical big mistakes. He has.
For example, but even in regards to the medical stuff, when they stepped in and they had an issue, from what I saw, was the Bayern Munich game where Palmer played 94 minutes and he was holding his groin at the last action of the game. After that, United, he also started, came off under the first 15 minutes, and we didn't see Palmer for a month and a half. Yeah. So that was the concern, and that's when the medical team started managing minutes. But this is something that they always do. I don't understand why we talk about Enzo Maresca like he's perfect. In regards to this, how could CP talk about MCGA yet Gas Garnacho? I'll say it. I maintain for the price that Garnacho was, for 35 million, he can play both flanks, and he's got multiple 15+ GA seasons under his belt already. Why not bring? I don't think he should have been an out-and-out starter for us every week, but as an option, a squad option, why not? We saw in the Arsenal game when we were dead and buried, he came and showed up for us. He's the only person where any other person in that front line, if the Lap got a brace against Arsenal, if João Pedro, Estevão got a brace against Arsenal, you man are gassing it. But for some reason, when it's Garnacho, but we lost the game, so we don't know.
But
you know
he
what?
should have never been signed though at that point though, because we signed Gittins. Gittins already. That's the conversation. You should have never signed Garnacho, bro.
But you know what, Don, CB, both of you guys, like, I don't think any of us wanted Garnacho. But one thing we have to agree: this guy's not up to any online shenanigans. He's not up to any mischief at Chelsea Football Club. Whenever he's getting the opportunity, he's working hard though. You can't say that. You know what? He's not working hard. He's being lazy. His output might not be good. That's a different story. That's going back to how we didn't want him to be in this football club. He's not Chelsea. He's not Chelsea standard. But now the fact that he's done what he's capable of doing so far. He's not done any less than that. Do you know what I'm saying? So
look, I'm not surprised. You know, he's not good enough to be starting. You just see him off the bench rest of the season, and then flip him in the summer, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind just letting him go in the summer. But as you guys said, like if he comes off the bench, fair enough. Chris Chats, once again, I'll never forget, brother. I don't want this bottle. Love this cinema stream, my Chelsea brothers. Now, big up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap things up. It's been a fantastic stream once again. Big up to each and every one of you guys in the chat. Make sure you guys all subscribe to Don, CB, and Alexis, Matisse, everyone else. The link is in the description. Make sure you guys get the brothers to their destinations. Don, what are we looking at, bro? What's your next target? What we
20K, man. 20K people. That's my next target. I'm on 11K right now. You know what I mean? Me and CB are going to be doing a lot more one-to-ones. In fact, CB, I need to get your availability for this week, man. This week as well, bro. We can try.
People have been asking for this one. The people have been asking for the one-to-one, bro. So
love it. You guys need to do that, man. I think you guys have mad chemistry and mad energy.
He's been compromised. People.
Listen, obviously, Garnacho was on stream last week. After the Arsenal game, he sent a snap in that he was watching. You know what I'm saying? He's tuned in. I put it on.
Is that right?
Yeah. Right? Garnacho was tuned in. So he's an MCGA member. So now, if these not keep saying I'm being compromised and this and that, what about if he just likes the content, bro? Are you guys compromised for tuning in to me? Am I compromised about that? That's what I don't get, but yeah, that's where it comes from, innit?
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. All I'm gonna say, CB, be very careful, man. I once fall into the trap where I had Mason Mount's dad on my channel, and after that, when Mason Mount was putting stinkers, it was me being me. I'm always honest, and I went after Mason Mount, and then before you knew it, his dad, Mason Mount, everyone blocked me, man. His entire family blocked me.
They blocked you?
Yeah, they all blocked me.
What, they blocked you on what?
On everything, on all platforms, bro. On Twitter, Instagram, the lot. They used to all follow me, and then they blocked me. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Big up to everyone. Make sure you guys subscribe to Don and CB as well. CB, what are we chasing, bro? What's the target?
I'm trying to get 10K right now. We're on 7.2. We just moved into the studio, so like I'm just live every day now. Work rate's gone up. And yeah, man, literally, bro.
Brilliant. To all the people.
Who's the background though?
So what am I doing with the background right now? Plan is I'm gonna put sofa in here. I'm gonna get some like framed kits and stuff like that. To put in. As of now, I've got this little flag I just took down that hangs on the back, but we'll sort all of that out.
Nice.
We got new camera, you notice, but yeah, we're switching it up now, man.
Bro, that's brilliant, bro. Reach out to Matisse, CB, bro. He's obviously done his whole background.
He inspired me. I went to his house when we done the Brighton watch along, and I was like, bro, you made me. I just realized I've been hustling backwards. I need to get a space. That's why. That's all.
Man's been hustling backwards.
Yeah, sir. He's got a whole setup, everything. I was like,
that's too funny. But yeah, live chat. Make sure you guys help both Don and CB reach their targets. I know a lot of you guys watch this and it gets views, so make sure you guys all follow Alexis as well, follow Matisse, and get me to 50,000 as well. So big up to each and every one of you guys. We'll see you guys again next week. It's going to be another bumper week. We've got a lot of matches coming up. Next week is going to be another special one. Until next time, take care. See ya.